Hey guys, welcome back to my channel here today, and I also have my notes here, and I also share the notes on this in the description down below. So if you're interested in checking it out, a lot of the stuff are just me, thinking about things at home, things like that. But without further ado, I want to jump right into today's video, which is just me talking about post-grad and what it's like being post-grad. So right now, at the recording of this video, I'm currently in New York, living with my boyfriend in New York. Currently still waiting to start, but by the time that this video will be posted, I'll probably be working full-time in Microsoft. And so these are like post-grad thoughts, trying to travel around. So like last week or two, I went back to Hong Kong and visit some family members and traveling in Hong Kong. I've also been to Macau and also went to Changzhou, which is just an outlying island near Hong Kong. But yeah, first thing after graduation is basically I just went traveling. I mean, some people wouldn't say that that's traveling because I'm just going back home, but I consider it's traveling because I was on the plane for like 16 hours just to travel back to Hong Kong. And then second thing that I've been like struggling, not quite struggling, more like I have to be aware of is figuring out my visa situation. Well, since I am an international student, I needed a visa to stay in the US, whether to work or as a student. When I was still a student at BU, I have the ISSO office that helps me with like my visa situation. I always have someone to ask questions for, but now that I'm graduated, I don't know if I'm still on the F1 visa because that's what I was on when I was a student. But right now, I think I'm still on the F1 visa, but on the OPT side of things, which is the optional practical training. It basically allows me to work in the US and it lasts for a year. And after the OPT finish, I can basically apply for a STEM OPT, which it gives me an extension for another 12 months. And after that, I will need my company to sponsor me, whether it is a TN or an H-1B visa for working. I'm pretty sure I have my OPT application like handed very early, but I still haven't got my EAD card, so I was very stressed about whether or not I can come back into the country without an EAD card. But luckily I have my EAD card, and when I was coming back into the country, they didn't ask me to show my EAD. I think it's because on the F1 visa, the expiration date, it's like January 14. And so when I came back January 2nd, they're like, oh, your visa is still within the date that you can come into the country. They didn't ask for my EAD card, but I still have my EAD card with me just in case I needed it. And then just, next is me starting a new job. I'm currently still in the process of hiring and in the process of negotiating my start date and my location. I've requested for remote, but they haven't responded, and so that was a whole situation where I have to figure out if I have to relocate or not, and I have to figure out whether or not I want to take the lump sum option or the full relocation package. So that was still in progress, but it also is something that has been on my mind. Next is, having a new job, including relocating or even just settling down in a new city. Freshman year, I was in New York City, but then sophomore year to senior year, I actually moved to Boston. And my new job is actually located in Redmond, Washington, which is all the way in the West Coast. But currently, at the time of filming this video, I don't know if I'm relocating there or not. And so I kind of have to figure out if I want to relocate or not, or like the apartment situation where I want to, even if I'm staying in New York and working remote, I want to find an apartment and I want to have my own place. I go on Zillow, go on apartment tours, find furnitures, build furnitures. Just being an adult, paying bills, paying tax, budgeting my expenses and financial decisions, figuring out how much I want to be in the savings account or checking account. And then with like settling down a new city, it comes with you also kind of have to find new friends, find new friend groups that you can hang out with just to keep your social circle active, and not that, I don't want to be stuck in my own place and just watch Netflix the whole day. That's like what I'm doing right now, but I don't think I'll like that for me when I'm actually working in person. And so I've tried meetups, I've tried Eventbrite, I've tried other like Facebook groups that like find people who have similar hobbies. Currently, it's still work in progress. Currently, I'm still hanging out with friends I already know from college, from freshman years, people that I know from freshman year that are currently in the city. Currently, it's fine for me to hang with friends I already know, just because I like have troubles finding friends. Personally speaking, I think I am an introvert, and I also did the 16 personalities test, which said that I am INTJA, I think. And so, you know, the personality test also said I'm an introvert. So for me, it's very hard to find friends, or it's very hard to find real friends or like true friends that I really like and vibe with. I had a lot of failed attempts. You know, I'm not saying I'm giving up. I'm still trying to put myself out there, trying something new, experience something new. And with settling down in the city, it also means refining my routine and just balancing work-life balance. When I was in school, my work-life balance is not great, not the best. And so this year, 2024, to have a better work-life balance, find a new hobby, and also just doing things that I love doing and not hate myself, I guess. Like, adulting life is actually less stressful than college life, just because in college you have so many things that you need to be doing at the same time. And so that was my 2 cents on work-life balance. So remember to have work-life balance. This is a reminder for you to have a work-life balance too. And then with that said, a new year means new goals, and this year I'm also setting a lot of goals for the future, whether it is for financial decision or is it personal goals, life goals in general, you know. There are a few goals that I've written down that I want to share. Financially, I want to stick to my budget plans. So I always have a budget plans, but sometimes I spend too much or didn't save enough, and so this year I aim to save 50% of every paycheck that I have. Just keep my expenses to minimum, just because I'm starting a new life, starting a new job. I don't want to like spend all my money on things I don't need. So that was first. Second one, this is a very long-term goal, which is buying a condo. So I'm probably gonna have to start saving now in order for me to buy a condo. But this is more like a 4 to 5 years planning goal, where I want to be able to buy a condo in 4 to 5 years after I work. And last but not least, like I said, is work-life balance. I want to have goals for, you know, creating good work-life balance that works for me and it works for my social life, works for my mental health now that I'm out of college. The first one is I want to be able to go out and walk at least 3 times a week on the weekdays. Second one is I want to exercise at least 1 time a week, whether it is to go to a soul cycle, or is it to go to the gym, or is it just maybe do some stretching at home, do some yoga. And the third one is learning a new language. I have been learning Spanish on Duolingo. This is not sponsored by Duolingo, but they should. Well, I tried learning Spanish on Duolingo. It's been a process. It's hard for me to stay consistent. So my other goal is actually also to just be consistent on learning Spanish on Duolingo. You know, by the end of this year, I don't know where I'm gonna be yet, but hopefully I'll be able to say that I am beginner in Spanish. So those are my goals and my sub goals. And last but not least, just some conclusion and takeaways that I want you to take away from this video. First is embrace opportunities. I think you shouldn't feel like you're missing out on stuff when you're not doing it. You should always live in the present and appreciate what you have in the present. Second thing is I want you to remember to take control of your life and don't feel like you always have to be doing something to get other people's approval. You know, make myself happy. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to do my nails, you know, control my life, control all my decisions. If things got backfired and, you know, it reflects on me, then that's my problem, that's my consequences to deal with. Last but not least is enjoying your youth. I know a lot of young people out there always overwork themselves. They get themselves burnt out. But just remember that, you know, don't bury yourself in work. You're young, you're smart. You should just go and live your life. You don't have to be settled. You still have a lot of time to do whatever you want. My motto is always, you know, go out and enjoy life. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. But other than that, I think that was all my post-grad thoughts. If I have more thoughts, I'll probably make another video on that, but for now, those are all my thoughts. So that was a wrap for today's video. If you want to stay tuned for more of my content, you can click the subscribe button and maybe drop a like if you like this video. But other than that, that was the end of today's video. And go out and enjoy life, and I'll see you guys next time I post. Bye!